You had a good day today? You had a good day? Quite chirpy, aren't you? Hey?
Robert was born with, he was born in the summer in July, and he had white hair and blue eyes, very blue eyes. He was very clever.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
He was reading before he went to school, and we didn't do anything to push him at all. He could just read.
Mm.
You know, he could just do it. When he was in, I think it was year 1, the teacher said, he seems to be holding his books really close. Have you noticed anything at home? So I said, oh, well, yeah, he does sort of hold his reading books close.
Yeah.
I said, and he sits near the TV as well. So she said, it might be worth going to the optician and just seeing what they think. So we went to the optician. Optician tested his eyes, said, yes, he you know, it will help to have sunglasses, but I want to refer you to your GP because I think your GP needs to have a look at him. So we said, oh, why? He said, well, I've seen some things at the back of his eye and I just want them checked out. So we went to the GP and the GP said, I want to refer you to a consultant. So we eventually, in a roundabout way, we got to this consultant. It took quite a while, again, weird, it's just been his thing, that things took a while to diagnose, but they wrongly, we know now, diagnosed him with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a condition where the back of your eye starts to sort of break down. So we were told that he would lose his sight, but then other things started to creep in.
Like epilepsy and things.
Epilepsy, his ability to walk was impaired. And eventually, very, very late at 24, he was diagnosed with juvenile Battens, and we knew that there was no cure. We knew it's just sort of a treatable disease where, you know, treatments are just to alleviate what's happening at the time. We were just completely devastated because we knew what the prognosis was.
Yeah, it's a life-shortening disease, isn't it?
Yeah. And we were told at the time that if he managed to get to 30, he would have done very, very well. He did end up living to 33. Yeah. So he did really, really well. If you can, just giving that small amount of money can make a big, big difference to an awful lot of people that otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to be very, very lucky and living in a SeeAbility house.
Yeah, without SeeAbility, I don't know how we would have coped.
We wouldn't
with
have
Robert.
coped. We wouldn't have coped. And absolutely, definitely, we believe he would not have lived to be 33. It wouldn't have happened. The care that Robert needed was so specialised.
Yeah.
We certainly, as parents, didn't have the ability to do that. The local GPs, however good they were, didn't have the ability to do it. And nobody knew about it. It was so rare. When he was diagnosed, his consultant said, I will never diagnose another person with Battens in my career. They could produce the community there and they could give him the social life. We couldn't give him that social life.
The care here was fragmented.
Yeah.
With various people and staffing and caring issues. But obviously when it was at Heather House, it was all under one roof.
And everybody works as a team. And the team included the both of us and Robert, obviously. He was at the centre of the team. But our voices were heard. We never felt that any of the professionals we encountered there thought, sort of dismissed us, you know, and sometimes you can feel like that. You can feel that you're just the parent. But the parent's got a lot to say, and the parent knows that, you know your child, and you know when things are good and you know when things are not so good. And they listened to us a lot, and we were involved all the way with his care. All the way, anything, any changes.
Robert, you're on camera. Just show your mum and dad.
It was so specialised, the
Yeah.
care that they were giving. You know, it wasn't standard care. It's above and beyond care. They didn't need to give that care. I'm sure
No.
that some of the things that they were doing were certainly not in their job descriptions at all. But they gave it because they'd become friends of the
They were-
people
they were-
that they were caring
were-
for.
You could say they were genuinely fond and
Oh.
loved Robert.
Absolutely. I think the speed
Yeah.
was the main thing.
Yeah, if we was to see Robert, we'd go and visit him. And if some little thing had happened, we could just walk out the door, go and see the manager, and just say, "Can you just look at this?" And she would come down,
Yeah.
or one of the nurses,
Yeah.
and say, "Right," and they'd get together. We might have to tweak his meds or something, or we'll keep an eye on that. Blood pressure was up, or something.
Since Robert has passed away, we've tried our best to sort of support SeeAbility. Obviously, for us in particular, one particular home, but we know that SeeAbility is a group of homes that each have got their own specialism. And we can only do a tiny amount, you know. We can bake a few cakes and sell them and do that type of thing. And I think the reason that we always say, you know, if we ever won the lottery, SeeAbility would be very happy people.
Yeah.
Because we would be giving an awful lot to them. That's if, you know, we won the lottery. But it doesn't have to be that amount of money.
No.
You know, it can be £5. Giving that money means so much because those extra things can be done as well as those basic things. You know, the basic things need to be done. You know, the right level of care, the upkeep of the home, and making sure that it's all person-centred and everyone's happy. But the extra things can come from that £5.